This weekend I turned 22, and for the first time in like 5 years I actually celebrated my birthday. I used to have this belief that birthdays were just an excuse to be a narcissistic attention whore that we all secretly want to be, but we hide it behind our lies and fake humility. But then I realized I was forgetting what age I was. I kept accidentally telling people I was 19 when I was 20 years old, that I was 19 when I was 21 years old, because I genuinely forgot how old I was. And I realized that a birthday maybe is not just to jerk yourself off for attention, but maybe to put a bookmark on your life and to just mark how old you really are.
The last 4 or 5 birthdays of mine, I did fuck all. Like on my 18th birthday, I deadass literally, I went home, I took a nap, and then I went to the gym, and instead of doing legs, I did biceps. That was like my birthday present to myself. Wagwan. On the street of Toronto. And so I think it is important to celebrate your birthday, just because like you have to remember how old you are. Like you have to grasp that entire year's pass of your life. And if you don't do that, like you're just kind of living life on autopilot, right? And so it's really important that you go out and you have these, not even a celebration, you just like mark the idea down that you are in fact turning a different age. It is so fucking cold, my hands are freezing right now.
But this birthday made me face this question that I've had in the back of my mind for the last couple of years. Am I gonna do nothing with my life? Sometimes it's hard to swallow the fact that there is no predetermined path. There is no on-rail section for life.
Like before, when I tell people, I'm traveling or something, they're like, how old are you? Like, I'm 21. They're like, oh my God. Oh, you're 21? Like, you're still so young, you have so much life. But I feel like I'm not at the age where no one says that anymore. And I thought when I was younger, by this age, I'd have it all figured out or something, but no. I feel more lost than ever.
When I was young, I had this belief that I was destined for greatness, that I was destined to change the world in a positive way, that I was not going to be something or someone mediocre, that I would do something in excess of normality. And you can chalk that up to, childlike innocence and wonder. But deep down, I still have that belief. But in order to keep that belief alive, you also have to have the knowledge that you are the only person on earth who can keep that dream, that vision alive. And especially since last year, I've been fighting this uphill battle with pessimism. It's becoming very obvious to me the direction of the world. The world that existed 10 years ago is gonna seem so foreign to the world that's gonna exist in 10 years. In 10 years, there will be no middle class. In 10 years, both white and blue collar jobs will be completely replaced by AI chatbots and Indian guys operating robots remotely from their apartment in Calcutta. I think this pessimism is spreading throughout everyone my age. Recently, it was confirmed that the world really is run by satanic pedophiles and a cult who run not just the business world and the political world, but the financial one and the sports one and the educational one.
He's giving prime Jeffrey Epstein right now. Prime Jeffrey Epstein.
And these people who do the most unimaginably evil things are going to get away with it. They're not going to face justice, at least on this earth, for the horrendous things they've done. But all of this information being true leaves me with the simple question: what am I going to do about it? Am I going to lay there and die? Or am I going to lay in my bed, doom scroll, gamble, and goon to try to take my mind off of it? Fuck that. I want to do something with my life. I want to be someone. When I was a kid, I had this epiphany at like 8 years old that I wanted to figure out the meaning of life. And to me, I kind of boiled it down to 2 things. To die with a smile on your face and to leave the world better than how you came into it. And in layman's terms, that just means to live life without regrets and to be a good person. And that's a hard thing to do, because the other path of doing nothing and going nowhere and just being no one is such an easy, obstacle-free path that you're allowed to take nowadays. But you only get one shot at this life. Make the most out of it. At 22, I now feel like I have one pinky toe in the grave. I really do feel old. And I don't like the crystal ball that I'm looking into for the future of humanity. The one of people being mentally enslaved by their Palantir provided VR headset that they use to talk to their AI girlfriend that they're paying for with a Klarna payment plan. And while this may be the path humanity is heading towards right now, I don't think that this is an unchangeable one. I'm not gonna sit there and take it. I don't want to be some deadbeat with a bunch of could have been, would have been stories. I felt like I've had something holding me back my whole life. The fear of not being validated by other people. the fear of not being cool enough, of not having big enough muscles, of dressing bad, of not having enough money, of FOMO, of just being a slave to the validation of other people. And that being one of my biggest gripes is part of why almost all the content I make is bashing that, because I want to get rid of that from my own system. So at first I tried to deal with this fear with meaningless hookups.
Dude, I fell in love.
This is the worst picture you've ever.
This is the photo, bro. This is the photo that made you fall in love.
I tried to deal with it by making money in my business. And these things are just a temporary fix to a lifelong problem. But in life, there are two forces that control the weird and unexplainable movements of the universe: love and fear. And so if I don't want to be scared of the world, if I don't want to be scared of the opinions of other people, if I don't want to be scared to take on risks and maybe fail, but maybe change the world for the better, I need to love myself. I need to love the world. I need to love all of the flaws of the modern day that I have to suffer through. I need to love the fact that I'll never be able to afford a house. I need to love the fact that I'll never be able to work one job that'll be enough to support my wife and 5 kids. I need to love that because that's putting a fire under my ass. Literally. It's literally putting a fire under my ass. And this fire under my ass is the realization that Gen Z has nothing to lose. There is no secured future for us. The lifestyle that your parents and grandparents got to live does not exist for you. And that kind of makes me happy. It gives me this melancholy feeling of I'm in the wild, wild west. The world is changing so much and so rapidly. I perhaps have the chance to make an impact on the world that my parents and grandparents did not have the chance to do. And so the very question, am I gonna do nothing with my life, is a bit of a paradox. Because if you do nothing with your life, if you sit there and be no one, if you don't take any risks, if you don't chase your dreams, if you don't offend some people on the way and burn bridges and say what you really feel, even if it means social or judicial persecution, are you even alive?
I told you about what my uncle tried doing to me, right? I sounded so bad coming out.